harvesting the volunteers. Why I let this garden go to chaos this year. And what is underneath all this chaos that makes it worth it? This living soil. And whether you're going to be traditional and make rows and plant individual crops, whether you're going to just let it rest for a year and let nature take its course, keep that mulch on there, create the soil. That's what feeds your garden. I think it's time to start harvesting, and it's as simple as cutting off the seed heads, putting them around a little string and hanging them from one of these trellis wires. We're going to let them dry before we harvest. And yeah, we're going to lose a few seeds, but that way we're going to get another big old forest just like we got now. There's as many ways to garden as there are things to plant in your garden. Everybody's preference is a little different. If you're successful doing what you like to do, that's great. I didn't want to spend money on fertilizer anymore, and I found out that the life in the soil is what you feed your plants. And that's what gives your okra the resilience to get eaten by the groundhog and still bloom. These are pretty tough, and they got tons of new leaves coming on, and these tender leaves, they're edible. Well, this whole plant's edible. That's why the groundhog likes it. Groundhog pruning these big leaves off is just making this more bushy, and as this gets bigger, I won't have to fight so hard to see who gets the okra. By letting this turn into a jungle this year, and just all volunteers, we planted a few things. Our second batch of corn's coming on. Our second crop of corn is filling out nicely, and these kind of like where I planted them. Not doing a whole lot else to the garden this year except adding mulch. We're allowing that soil to rest this year. We're still getting a ton off of it, don't get me wrong. But once in a while, it's not a bad idea to let your soil just build up that life. And then the next go round, you'll be even that much more successful. And some of these say I'm a little late. They're starting to dry on their own. Well, that just gets us ahead a little bit. All I'm doing today is tying these up, hanging them from the trellis. And then in a day or two, if we don't get any more rain, which we've been getting almost every 3 or 4 days all summer long, then we'll come back and I'll show you just exactly how we save these seeds. We might even cook some up, show you just exactly what they taste like. But you know what today is? Today is Saturday, and you know what that means. We go to you and we celebrate what's going on in your garden. So while I get a few more of these flower heads strung up, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of our contributors. One of our longtime contributors, Walter, is a great example of what life does to a small area to produce a lot of food. Check this out. Walter came home from his vacation, and there's been enough rain in Tulsa that he didn't have to worry about having the neighbors water. He came home to a forest. His tomatoes are producing like mad. His cucumbers are over the top of the trellis and are producing like mad. Green beans are starting to come on strong. Walter, thank you for sharing and showing just exactly what one compost worm bin can do in a small area. Your harvest is incredible. You look like you're going to have a really good summer. Thank you. Everything's growing really fast right now. Our zinnia got real big and toppled over, but it's going to go ahead and continue to make flowers and keep bringing life into this garden. And like I said, there's many kinds of gardens. Larry and Michelle in North Carolina has a small area. Check out their bucket garden. Their peppers are thriving, producing several different varieties. They've got squash still coming on. And then of course the flowers in the border. Blueberries are slowing down a little bit, but it looks like they got buckets full. Larry, Michelle, thank you for showing us just exactly what's possible in a small area. This loofah is now going across the amaranth I'm going to start harvesting, so better get it back up on the trellis. While I do that, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more of our contributors. Bruce has been hard at work doing the hardest work you ever do in a deep mixed mulch food for us. After harvesting a bunch of star cherries Maylin and him went ahead and made some jam. Bruce, Maylin, that jam looks just tasty. I'm telling you, our contributors are awesome. Leave a comment down below and let everybody know just how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their garden. And I invite you to become a member of this group. There's no obligation, doesn't cost anything. We're just a loose-knit group of people that like to get our hands dirty and grow things that taste good. You can do this too. Send in a photo now and again and let us celebrate your garden. And then if you take a day off, look what you find. We're gonna have loofah this year. That is incredible. Allowing this garden to go chaos like this, as it warms up and the summer progresses, it gets out of hand. And unless you have full time to dedicate to your garden, you got to know that you're probably not going to be able to do all the work you wanted to do. But that's the difference between food security and getting a few things off of your garden to enjoy all year long. Use the amaranth like they do in corn and the Three Sisters. We're able to come out and harvest beans almost every day for fresh beans for dinner. We got a freezer full from last year. We had that many, and that's why we have so many volunteers, because of the ones we couldn't pick last year. You can do this too. Let's take a look at a couple more of our contributors. Since we were just in Florida, let's go on up to Minnesota. Zone 4. Barbie's got some nice squash coming on. And has anybody ever said you can't have enough beets or carrots or green beans? Barbie, this is fantastic. I sure appreciate you sharing what's going on in your garden. And check it out. We are actually going to get melons this year. I thought that rabbit had eaten most of the little melon plants. But we're going to get a melon. Maybe. We'll see what we get. Let's take a look at Art's garden. Art's got another one of his bananas putting on banana flowers. And in amongst that, he's got his regular garden coming in. And he's got a really nice cantaloupe, along with tomatoes coming in just fine. Now Art, when these start flowering, you're going to see me jumping for joy. I'm just tickled that they're growing. And our poor pathetic tomatoes that everybody thought was way too late. Look at this. They're already 6 foot tall. They're full of blooms. Well, let's just go on down to Texas and take a look at Mike and Linda's garden. Now Mike said they've been in the hundreds for the last 2 weeks. But their okra's coming on strong. They got a big, nice watermelon coming in. Their zinnias are beautiful. And they've done a little bit of companion planting in these raised beds. Mike, Linda, thanks for sharing your garden all summer long. Any fruit on here yet? But that's another one where, as soon as we do, I'm going to be jumping up and down. But they're growing nicely, even with the amaranth in here. Like I said earlier, we've had rain almost every 3 days all summer long. Some of those came with some pretty good storms. I've had a hard time keeping the hot wire fence. Branches keep blowing into it. We had some big trees come down. I've had to take a little time off of the garden just to try to clear the driveway. And like this, when this amaranth gets big like this, it gets heavy. This is going to tell you it's time to go ahead and harvest. So just like the trees that came down, I'm looking at some free mulch. Just like this amaranth that came down, I'm looking at more free seed, more amaranth, more that we can eat. You can do this too. So why let your garden go to a chaos mess? You want to enjoy the life in your garden. You want to promote the life in the soil. And by allowing extra roots just to do what they do, live their life cycle, you're helping your ground. And the better your ground, the better your plants. The better your plants, the better your harvest. And then you do the hardest thing you ever do in a deep mixed mulch garden, and that is harvest. Until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you.